Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about the third row seat. That's it. It's a big in-depth review of what it's like to be back there as an adult, what kind of features and amenities it has, and how much storage and cargo capacity we have in the back of the LX470. Just remember that if you want to skip ahead at any moment in this video, check my description out. I've got jump links to every single thing that might interest you in this review. First thing we're going to do is come right over here to the side. You see a lever? Boom. Okay, now I'm going to move this little lever right here, and I'm going to lift the seat from the back. Okay, keep in mind that I am 6 foot 5 inches tall, 180 pounds. Now I'm going to get in the back third row of the Lexus LX470. So getting into the third row of the LX470 was actually not that difficult for me. However, at 6 foot 5 inches tall, 180 plus pounds, I'm not comfortable. If I have my back up against the seat as it should be, for safety and posture, my head is definitely resting on the ceiling right now. Fact, by about that much. Now, we're gonna do something that I haven't done yet. We're gonna drop the row of seats and see what kind of legroom we have. I'm a little nervous about this. I really don't fit in most places in life. Okay, here comes the back. Okay, it's hitting my knees and it's not locked into place yet. Let's lock it into place. Yes, so I am uncomfortable. I could do this if I had to, like to the grocery store. I feel very claustrophobic. I can't truly put my head up against the ceiling. But again, I'm a very large person anywhere in life. I'm not comfortable in an airplane. I'm only comfortable in large vehicles. So if this is for a child, we're talking about a much different story. So I would say this is a con of the LX470. There's not too many of them. But the fact that the third row is where the climate control systems are the most easily accessed is a major fail in my opinion on this vehicle. I don't know why they did it that way. I guess because it aligns with this whole bar of actual vents. But I can't tell you how many times I've had to pull over on the side of the road and adjust the climate control for my daughter because she's stuck in a car seat and can't do it herself. What I will say though is I always keep it essentially at the same temperature, right here around 69, 70, winter or summer. It has controls for aiming at your head, your feet in your head, as well as your feet. The third-party floor mats I have seem to block some of the footwell traffic for air, so I usually just keep it there on the head. It's got an auto setting, which is what I keep it on, low, medium, high. It's nice, it works very well. The AC system in this vehicle works very, very well, even though it's pushing, what, 17 years old now? And the LX470 ships with a really nice factory sub. I have the Mark Levinson upmarket factory stereo. It worked very, very well, except for the fact that I blew the sub within the first month of owning it. Somehow the other guy had it for 15 years, and then I get my hands on it, and boom, I blew the speaker. As we'll see here, oh, thanks, hon. You always find trash when you go back to the third row. There's a cup holder. It's a little cheapo one, but it's enough to hold a juice box or, like one of those little milk jugs from McDonald's. And in case you're raising, British children, got a place for cigarettes and ashes in the back, too. I can't imagine anything worse than being crammed in the back of this seat with somebody smoking. That is a childhood nightmare. It takes me back to my grandmother drove a station wagon and would smoke with the windows up, and it would all pool in the back because I had to face the back of the car. Now, if we step over here to the passenger side of the vehicle, we have two hard molded cup holders. So there is one cup holder for everybody who can fit in the third row, all three passengers, which is cool. You have this super awkward, sneaky little space spot here that I've never figured out what should go in there unless you have the video system that came, as an add-on some of these vehicles, and you can put your wireless headphones in there. Other than that, it just has a flimsy little strap. No idea what that would be for. And finally, this door pops off. You want to open this guy up. We have the Lexus first aid kit, mainly full of caviar and, champagne flutes and everything else that a luxury buyer needs in an emergency. Okay, obviously that was a joke. We got a bandage, got some nice other bandages. We got some butterflies in case, you need stitches on the road, some scissors, more gauze, ace bandage, waterproof tape, gauze, moist towelettes, medicated pads. This is cool. I didn't know I had this in here. Survival blanket. More band-aids, some tweezers, a magnifying glass, and a nice little guide. It's a cool little addition. I'm glad it has it. I like these little factory upgrades. Okay, another thing to note is if you do have children, there are only the seat anchors in the floor for a car seat in the second row. Now you can get up to 3 car seats in the second row, except for the fact that car seats are super freaking wide, so I'd probably say you can only get 2 in there. But if you did have a skinnier one, you could get a third one into the second row. The problem with the third row seating though is there are not those seat anchors in the floor. So that would maybe be where your older children would go, but then the problem is if you have car seats in the second row, you'd have to hustle your older children in through the tailgate, and you don't want to do that every single day. Some of you with 4 children or 5 children, multiple car seats, you probably just got to buy a freaking minivan. Rest in peace, brother. All right, so we have these you-know-what handles in the back, and they're dual purpose. Obviously, they're a way to hold on tight if you're hitting those rough roads. The other cool thing about them is when you fold these rear seats up, they split side to side, and they actually anchor on here so they're not just smacking up against your wall as you're hitting the trails. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've been back here for maybe 15 minutes filming this video.
I'm done.
A guy of my size, if you're anywhere near my size, if your teen boys or girls are anywhere near my size, don't subject them to this. It will not be fun. You will regret every second of it. Now, obviously, the third row is probably just going to be used for children and, you know, very extra bonus seating on a rough day when you have extra passengers, right? But let's go over some of the pros and cons of this place. My daughter loves the third row. She's just far enough away to have some independence. It's fun being back here. It is a little cave-like, even for a child. But what I think is really cool is that you have a cup holder, you have access to all the climate control systems, and of course, the best part about the Lexus LX470 third row is you can fold this thing away and still have really good cargo capacity. It actually opens up in a way that you're not used to in most SUVs. Okay, so the next question you might be asking is how much room do you have behind the third row for cargo space, whether it's a toolbox, grocery bag, soccer balls, etc. On a loose measurement, 55 inches side to side and about 14 inches deep. As a real world measurement, at least 5 or 6, maybe 7 super large full grocery bags, and that's without even blocking any glass. But what if you want more space?
More space.
First thing you're gonna do, fold the seat down. I've used this option many times to bring large things home that, you know, I'm not worried about poking through the back of the rear seats. But if you bring home something taller, like a large chair from the Goodwill or something, you have another option. And this next option is really how I mostly drive around with the third row in my car. So we've got it folded down. The next thing we're gonna do is pull this lever over here. Voila. This is cool. Suburbans don't do this. A lot of vehicles do not push the chairs up against the side of the vehicle, giving you a lot more height. Now, once the chair is locked up into place and you'll feel it click, all there's left to do is attach it to the jump handle there and you're good to go. And here we are. Look at all that usable cargo space. You can get some very large items in the back of an LX470, and I'll grab a couple to show you that. Here's one 22-gallon Rubbermaid tub. For a size comparison, those measure 24 inches by 18 inches by 17 inches. If you needed to get something completely square or cubical inside this, you usually have 38 inches between the two chairs up and a solid 36 front to back. Obviously those chairs are at an angle, so you'd have a longer distance to the bottom, but if you needed a cube, just picture 38, 36 as a safe measurement. Oh. And the height, about 38 inches top to bottom, is safe as well. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is the removal of these seats. I looked online and most people are saying they're about 45 pounds each, which is okay for, you know, somebody my size to get. Otherwise you might need some help. But I don't ever use these seats. I've kept them in for a long time because I'd rather keep them in the vehicle than have to store them. But due to road trips and due to COVID and just knowing I'm not going to have more than 5 people in my vehicle anytime soon, I'm going to take them out for the extra storage space. Okay, so in order to remove these, first you unhook it here, tuck that in, obviously to where it goes. Then what you're going to do is you're going to lift up this little piece of plastic here, the lock release lever. And this handle here is what's going to unhook everything. And if I'm not mistaken, you pull this at the same time as well. All right. I don't know what they weigh. They're easy to hold, which is good, so they're not like crazy unwieldy. Maybe 40 pounds. I'm not like a big fitness dude, so, you know, I couldn't hold it forever. But if you have a kid or something, you can hold this, no problem. This is why I love Lexus. This is why I love Toyota. This is why I love the Japanese engineers who come up with this stuff. The freaking chair even has a handle on it. And now we have a very roomy cargo space with a 5-passenger SUV. We have just about 44 inches between the wheel wells and about 58 inches side to side. I just want to say thank y'all for watching this video. I plan on showing much more in-depth reviews for someone who's owned this vehicle for over 2 years. I know when I was looking at LX470s, all I wanted to do is absorb as much information as possible as I was trying to find that perfect one. And as we know, these are very hard to find. So check out my channel, subscribe please, like, comment, ask more questions if I missed something, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching Texas Lexus.